Two boys, one podcast. Two boys, one podcast. Your movie connection. When it's time for reflecting, we make fun of each other. Then do film reviews. Winner or loser. Is this movie right for you? Nope, it sucks. Don't press your luck. You better listen to us. Two boys, one podcast.
Welcome to One Ghost, One Ghoul. Please step into the time machine to October 31st in the year of our Lord 2020. There's a lot of years of the Lord, Zeke. Have you noticed that?
Every year's a new one.
He's got a lot.
So, what was it? One Ghost, One Ghoul, two podcasts?
Yes, the first year. Yeah, no. How many podcasts?
Too many.
This is the fourth year. And we're a little late. It's my fault. You guys can blame Zeke, but it's my fault.
Sounds about right.
I haven't been feeling well, and I didn't want to do it, Zeke. I'm sorry.
I don't blame
sorry to you, fans.
But not sorry to me.
I said I was. I retract it, though.
You've been stepping out on this podcast now.
Don't you start talking to me about stepping out on podcasts. So this is a late Halloween episode. Maybe it's our fall special. Change it to that.
Yeah, we could change it from the Spooktacular to the Robtober.
Robtober. It's November.
Robvember.
Doesn't sound as good as Robtober.
No, it doesn't.
Robtober. Hi, Zeke. How are you?
We can call it the Rob Get Around to It.
Rob got it because I finally did. Huh?
Yeah.
So it was Halloween. Did you know that?
It did not go completely unnoticed, I guess.
No?
No.
What'd you do?
I took some pictures of the moon.
Oh, because it was a rare blue moon on Halloween.
Yeah, but only in color.
Gotta get that blue.
It wasn't a sad moon. It was just blue in color.
Oh, it's depressed.
No, it was just blue in color because it wasn't depressed.
So it was blue in color and it was depressed. Why was it so sad?
I don't know. Pick a reason.
Got some mice up there and started eating it because it's made out of cheese.
That makes sense to me. And cheese went bad.
Well, I don't know if the cheese went bad, but he was getting eaten alive by those.
I mean, you're right. It must have been good cheese.
Yeah, otherwise those mice
wouldn't have gone all the way up there to get it.
Those mice get up there.
I mean, that's a physics question.
Cosmonauts.
I mean, people have been operating for years under the misconception they've been sending monkeys and dogs up to space. And mice this whole time.
Mice and rats.
Just rats. Lousy with rats. Space is lousy with rats.
That's what the moon said when those mice got there. Rats.
Yeah, that's what I say most of the time.
But they were mice, so I don't know why he said that.
I mean, I don't know.
Moon's an idiot.
Anything. Moon is a dummy.
Stupid thing. Yeah, who needs it?
I don't. The tide, evidently.
The tides are even stupider.
It's true.
I could do that. No problem. I don't need gravity.
You just show up here. You show up
show
there,
this. Do your thing.
show up and leave.
Yeah.
See you later.
That's right.
Yeah. Dumb.
Stupidest thing I ever heard of.
Well, speaking of stupid things.
Uh-huh.
What have you been up to?
Me? Well, on Halloween I was sick and I watched 5 or 6 horror movies.
On purpose. Like were you too weak to hit the next button? You did it on.
No, I chose them.
Okay, you chose them. They chose you.
But I had to I had to use Alexa.
Oh.
It was on an Amazon Fire Stick and I was like, Alexa, play The Fly.
Oh.
And she did it. She's
right.
a good girl.
I mean,
woman. Person.
It sounds like you got something special.
We really do. We really bonded that day.
Good. Well, it's compelling and rich.
So far, we're off to a great start. I've said that before.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, every start we've ever gotten off to has been a great start.
As far as you're a werewolf.
Yep.
What you should have said, because this is a holiday special. As far as you're a werewolf, how long have you been a lycanthrope?
Since I shipped in from Neptune, one of the many, many moons from Neptune.
Is one of them called lichen or something?
No, it's just lousy with werewolves because there's so many full moons going on.
Sure. Yeah, that's the dream for the werewolf. Get
That's
to Venus.
yeah, you just
Full moon every night.
every night, never change
I
back.
don't think they like being werewolves, though. They always wake up and they're like, "Oh God, what did I do?"
Yeah, I mean, I think that part of that is because they're covered in blood, someone else's blood typically, and usually naked. I mean, if you're just stayed werewolf the whole time, you're always hunting and you're always
So
just
you wouldn't have the time to.
you wouldn't have time to feel bad.
Sucks to be a Venusian.
That's true.
Venusite.
Yeah.
I think it's Venusian. Venusian moons.
I mean, I've never met one, so I haven't asked. I haven't taken the
That's because the
opportunity.
werewolves ate them all.
I mean, that's a story for a different day.
As far as I'm a werewolf.
How far are you a werewolf?
7.
I was gonna guess
You?
6.
Yeah, 6. Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty good
Not
guess.
close enough.
No.
Story of my life.
That mine too.
Well, why don't you tell the people who are still listening what they're in
Oh.
for?
Hi, people that are still listening. You think people already cut out?
Oh, I don't know how many people tune in.
Hey, Supreme
I know
Dingus.
some people are out there because I
I'm
can hear
sorry.
them
I'm
breathing.
sorry we're late. So sorry, dingus. Yeah, so it's holiday special here on 2 Boys, one Ghost, One Ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
You're the ghoul.
Makes sense.
You wanted to be the ghoul. You chose it.
I didn't fight it.
And all the rules are off for holidays. I choose 5 horror movies.
There really aren't any rules for you at all. Have nothing to do with Halloween. Nothing to do with anything, other than the fact that
I've got
some of them might just make me angry.
This is an old argument we've been having. we go over it every year.
Yep.
I've listened to the podcast. You said Christmas action movies, and I just said horror movies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I stuck to mine. You didn't stick to yours.
That's not true.
It is.
I don't understand how you can be so fixated on the rules that exist for me when you completely.
I said I like to watch horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
These are all horror movies.
See, I feel like you're saying horror, but what I'm hearing is horrible. And
Yeah,
so
so what? I
far,
didn't say
so
that'd
far
be
you're batting
good.
1,000.
Fuck you. Doing better than you are for Christmases.
I disagree.
I don't have it all in this book. Anyways, I stand by it. Fuck you.
Fair enough.
How are the
Halloween.
levels?
Levels are good.
Okay. I'm talking into the mic this time.
I hear you, loud and clear. I'll tell you if I don't.
Oh, I'm just noticing you got headphones on.
Mm-hmm. Just blending into my head.
Cool.
I have the Princess Leia ears.
All right, werewolf.
Hit me.
Did you want to do a movie?
Movie a day.
Yeah, movie day keeps the vampires away because they're werewolf enemies, according to Underworld.
Okay. All right. I mean,
And the first movie we watched was Underworld, starring Kate Beckinsale.
that's not true.
Yeah, she's in it. She's in that guy, that British guy that I like so much.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Bill Nye.
Yeah, the science guy's in there.
All right. So what did we actually? What are we kicking it off with? Are you going to list all 5 that we watched? Or are you just going to?
No, we don't do that. We go over this every time. No, we just spring it on him.
Spring it on me.
Yeah, no, you
Make it a
you
surprise
choose.
to me,
You
too.
hated them all apparently, so you.
I mean,
I don't give a care.
Okay. The first one
I
that
don't
you
give
and
a
I watched
shit.
together was Mandy.
Yeah,
We watched that at your place of employment.
yeah. So we were at big shout out to Good Earth State Park at Blood Run.
Yeah.
You know, I probably shouldn't. Anyways, we got to watch a movie on the theater there. They got a little. It's for. Anyways, we got to see it on a big screen. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mandy, 2018. The enchanted lives of a couple in a secluded forest are brutally shattered by a nightmarish hippie cult and their demon biker henchmen, propelling a man into a spiraling, surreal rampage of vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of notes.
basically Nicolas Cage with a chainsaw, and he gave like early.
Yeah, but he had like a battle axe too.
Yeah, well, a woodsman's pal.
No.
His lady friend had been wearing one of his T-shirts earlier, and then I thought she died in the T-shirt. But then he got it back, and he wore that on his
She changed.
vendetta.
She changed. You weren't paying attention.
Evidently not. Yeah, I don't know what I expected from this. Like, I know everybody really liked this movie.
It's not true.
It made a big splash. Did Shudder buy it? Is that how it worked?
Yeah, it's the only place you can watch it streaming, anyways. At the moment,
Kept hearing things. I think it was a Sundance movie.
Unknown.
I don't know. I don't know if it was like might have been one of those special screenings. I think it did play there a couple years back. Anyway, it was a good role for Nicolas Cage. I think that it was
definitely one of his better.
Yeah, it was a good turn of events for him, where it wasn't the same.
It's in top 20. Nicolas Cage roles.
Top 20. That's fair. Of the 1,000 that he's been part of.
Yeah.
I think my problems with this film aren't specific to this film. It's with the genre. And
what would that genre be?
And I will get into it more as we go down this list of 5 that you've selected, because the problems that I had with this one I had severely with another one. With this one, it was just I guess it was a slow descent into madness.
Yeah.
And I don't honestly know if it was me witnessing the descent or they were trying to make me feel a part of the descent. I don't know what the dynamic of the viewer was supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
But I guess the few notes that I had on it were as follows. It was a horrible 80s style geography class documentary open.
Okay.
I did not like the audio mix.
Yeah.
The found dialogue, is that a thing? Like
found dialogue.
Like the voices that you were supposed to be hearing.
Oh, they were off.
Yeah. So like the people make found footage movies now, where they collect it from. They do that. Yeah. Yeah. It just seemed like someone had found audio somewhere. Like, oh, I know where this is going to work.
It was a deliberate choice.
I know that it was. I just don't know where it came from or why it mattered.
I can't speak as to why they chose that. No.
I guess if you're going to be an occult member, concubines are a must.
Yeah, you gotta have a concubine.
The cherry hunter? I have that with the question mark.
Cherry hunter?
Yeah.
There's no cherry hunter.
Yeah, okay. The ghosting effect, I think that was, it kind of petered out halfway through, but it was very, and I don't know, but I didn't understand if it was brought on by drug use.
Well, where it was heavy. Well, that was a scene with her and him.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is, I guess the guy that directed this, the one movie he did before this is very similar, very, I don't know if druggy, but it's very visually oriented with all the, like the special effects, with like the ghost effects and the melding kind of thing. It's kind of spawned a little subgenre. And I don't know, it doesn't really necessarily always seem to correlate to anything. I guess if you wanted to look at it when it's Nick and her together, maybe they're, they're like soulmates and they're having a real. If you really want a reason, I guess that's what I'd have to say.
I mean, the by the premise, by the film, right? That's for every movie, and I guess like not every film needs to make sense within the confines of the rules we have as society.
Right.
But I feel like the problem that I continually have is that they don't even follow their own rules within the construct of the narrative they
What do
built.
you mean?
So with the ghosting effect and the voices and stuff, it wasn't always on the same cues. So I don't want it to be predictable, but I want it to make sense.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Fair enough. Okay. Also in my notes I have horror films greater than cults? ? Go.
Yes.
Because it's a very common, and we'll get into this later. I have a tirade on a separate film.
I'm sure I know the movie you're talking about. It wasn't a cult.
I disagree. Okay, and then when you stab someone, always trust the blade. That's also what I have here, because evidently...
Must have been a line? No.
I don't think it was line. I think he stabbed somebody and it didn't really work.
They were okay.
They were okay. And that's the phrase I use a lot, is once someone starts dying, I say, they'll be okay.
You say that?
I say that.
I've never heard that.
And based on that same phrase, Cage must be Sicilian. I don't know.
It's been a long time since we watched this, folks.
Cheddar Gobbling Good. That was the commercial.
Man, that was a great commercial.
Nick Cage as the Tiger King. I feel like this was his audition. Was this movie?
Okay.
I think he had a T-shirt. I think it was foreshadowing. He had that tiger T-shirt.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I've come for the
Funny.
Reaper.
Funny guy.
Chewbacca left it for me. Still nothing.
Brother. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The title credits for this film came onto the screen at 70 minutes. Title credits came onto the screen.
It's a short, it's a tiny cold open. Very small. Minuscule, really.
All I have to say, it's bad LSD. That's all you got to know.
Well, I liked it.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, go figure. I do have to say, in the opening scene, Nick Cage is chainsawing. It looks like he's a logger, but he's not using chaps or gloves or a helmet or goggles. It's bad.
OSHA would not approve.
No, they would not. I think Nicolas Cage and the girlfriend, wife, whatever, that's a pretty odd couple. It's like a logger, it's a tough guy with what's that word when somebody's really like strange and artsy? Say it, Zeke. What is that word?
Avant-garde.
No, it refers to a person. They're eccentric.
Unemployed.
She was employed. She worked at the gas station. She's reading a book. I didn't write down the name of it. And it's really about a wizard reached down into the crevasse and pulled out the blood red. Something like that. Looks like a really cool book. I'd like to read it. It doesn't exist.
No, that's right. We looked it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
This movie has Ocarina of Time Cenobites. There's a little ocarina they blow on, and it calls the Cenobites to do the cult's work. When they capture Mandy, they give her LSD, and then they stab her with a wasp in a jar. And then the lady says, I like to call that the cherry on top.
Cherry Hunter.
Cherry Hunter. I figured that's probably what you meant. And then I wrote, I'll have what she's having. It's like fun.
Sounds delightful.
Couldn't decide if it was neat or dumb with the overlay of the cult leader Jeremiah and Mandy's face.
You want me to answer that?
I think you're going to say neat.
You'd be wrong.
Overruled. Guy had a small dinger. You get this. There's a little full frontal nudity.
Mm-hmm.
Small dong.
Go figure. Nudity in a cult.
Yeah.
Yep.
You should have seen Zeke during that part. He's all sweating. You got the vapors, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Just drank the Kool-Aid.
She tells a story to Nick about her dad killing some starlings in a sack, and then she got killed in a sack. Cool.
Was she a starling? Would you count that as foreshadowing? I don't even know where to put that.
Sure.
Sure? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a good movie. Good movies foreshadow.
Foreshadow. Good movies. Well, must not have been foreshadowing then.
What part is that? Damn it. Cheddar Goblin. Oh, and he's got bought after Mandy gets killed, burned in a sack over hell of a campfire.
Yeah.
Can't believe they burned her down. Bones into ash.
See that one from the next county.
Anyways, Nicolas Cage is freaking out in the bathroom. He's in his tighty whities and his tiger shirt. He's got some vodka there in the bathroom. He's just chugging it.
Yeah, he's just going to town on that bottle of vodka.
You know, when I bartended, there was a lady that kept peppermint schnapps in the women's bathroom.
Like in the toilet?
Yeah, it was like a home toilet underneath.
Huh.
Underneath there. But she kept it in she brought in a cleaning bottle. Like.
Just for a spritz?
Well, so she used, a toilet bowl cleaner or whatever. She cleaned that out, put the schnapps in that, put it under the sink. So then she'd go in the bathroom. She'd be in there forever. And she's in there just drinking schnapps for free as opposed to paying out of her
Sure.
Toilet cleaner.
Okay.
Anyways, vodka, bathroom vodka.
Does not sound appealing at all.
No, well, peppermint schnapps, gross.
Well, that's true. I feel like if you're drinking that, you're not drinking for flavor. You're drinking for effect.
Yeah, no, she definitely was.
Yeah. What's the point of going to the bar, I guess?
Oh, see me.
No, that's true. It's true.
I'm sure that's what it was.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Okay, what else I got here? Yep, I come for the Reaper. I wrote that down too.
Mm-hmm.
You're a vicious snowflake. That was my favorite shirt.
It's your favorite line?
I just wrote them down.
Must be a line.
Oh, and then when he's fighting the Cenobites, his dick gets stuck. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's funny. He had like a knife dildo, like 7, and then he got stuck to the ground, and then Nick killed him.
Yeah, with the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Was it a chainsaw?
No, he didn't have that yet.
Oh, that's right. I mean, the fun part for Cage in this movie was he was covered in blood most of the film.
Yeah, he sure was.
At least half of it.
Yeah, there was second best chainsaw duel in cinematic history.
Certainly in Two Boys, One Podcast cinematic history.
There might only be 2.
Well, we've covered both of them then.
First one was much better.
Well, it was the lead-in, I feel like, that we got to appreciate.
Yeah, it's a strange
from the
movie. It's
first
like
one.
3/4 of the movie. It's just like all this psychedelic, soft, atmospheric stuff. Then Mandy dies, and then it's like a real short vengeance piece after that.
I honestly think that this film was structured as a short film. Like it was, the vengeance of it was a short film, and then they thought, you know what would make this better? Let's make it into a feature, but let's not change anything about the short we have. Let's just add a bunch of psychedelic nonsense.
Stretch it out.
But instead of cutting it up, let's just add an hour to the beginning, and then
I really like the beginning. Honestly, I like the beginning more. The first 3/4, as opposed to the vengeance section, just kind of lackluster to me. But the demon things, whatever the hell they were pretty cool. Apparently, bad LSD turned them into some sort of who the hell knows.
I honestly, did they have a name?
Nope.
So yeah, I mean, it was bad LSD just turns
I like to
you
call them
into
the Ocarina of Time Cenobite.
it just turns you into a Turbo Kid villain.
I really dislike seeing the trailer. It makes it look so cool. It makes it look like a mix of Hellraiser,
Yeah.
Mad Max.
I mean, they knew what they were doing with the trailer.
Yeah,
they made it look very
incredible.
appealing.
And Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and those parts are so short. It's just as typical with your trailers.
Yeah, I don't know where. I think it started slow for me, and then it just kind of stayed slow. And then when the vengeance actually happened, I didn't know. At some point, I think I actually thought that it was going to be him fighting like a subconscious trip, like a bad trip. And then he'd wake up and everything would be
Maybe
fine, or he was the one that
Could've
killed
been.
Mandy. And I don't know. But
I didn't get that. I'm pretty sure it was all real.
oh, it ended up being all real. But
okay.
Through the whole course of the film, I was trying to figure out what was going to happen, and I couldn't make sense. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. So I don't know what to think of it.
Did you make feet out of it?
I ended up making a tail.
You did. Oh, you got a tail.
I got a tail.
That's the bad end.
Yeah.
I remember when this came out, I was out on a fire. I was pretty excited the whole time. I'm like, God, I want to see that movie. 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 Got home, I watched it. I was like, it was okay. Watched it a second time. Hated it.
Mm-hmm.
I might have fallen asleep to it another time, but I watched it this time. I liked it. I liked it more.
So it's an every other situation for you.
Could be. I don't know. I
Okay.
got it in the car. You want me to bring it in?
We'll see how this goes.
One of the reasons I chose it is because I lent it to you a year ago, and you never watched it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. You bought it at the Last Stop sale,
Yeah, I sure did.
and then I had it sitting on a shelf for a year.
Yeah, you did. You did that.
Yeah, I did that. That's my bad.
You're a bad boy.
I can say I don't know that I feel bad about not watching it now, but I feel bad that I had your property for a year.
I didn't care.
So,
No problem.
okay.
I always had Shudder.
shudder the thought.
All right, let's rate this old bad boy.
Okay. You want to go first?
Yeah, 6 or the solid. It's a sex. Pretty good oral sex.
I think we've kind of come to the conclusion that everything now just has a $2.99 value.
Yeah, do whatever you want. I'll stop giving you shit.
I'm gonna say that this is a 50 center.
Out of $2.99?
Yeah.
Whew. It's pretty low, my friend.
Yeah. I gotta say I'm.
What am I giving it? Like 70. You're giving it. I guess 15.
You know, I'm kind of over.
Bring it way down.
Horror films and cults. I wasn't big on them to begin with, and now every time I see it. What
movies are you watching?
Well, the last 4 that I've seen outside of this podcast had them, and now this one had 2, so
1.
I mean the 5 that you picked.
I know what you're saying.
Okay, no.
There was
so
1.
I'm not thrilled about it, and I'm taking it out on every film I see going forward now.
What are these other 4 movies?
Off the top of my head, Midsommar, Hereditary.
Midsommar. Yeah. Guy loves cults, doesn't he?
Oh my God! Like I don't think I'll see another movie that he's done.
That was probably more of a coven.
The Lodge.
Okay.
What was the third one?
Excuse me.
That was the third one. The Lodge was the third one.
That's fine. Good enough.
I think like the Hole in the Ground, maybe.
Hole in the Ground.
It's always some sort of weird cult.
Yeah.
It's always a
I
cult.
haven't seen it, but I heard about it.
Okay, so yeah, I give it a bit of 50 cents.
You suck.
Okay.
What's next, buddy?
Well, let's go in order. The next one you and I watched was Bubba Ho-Tep.
Same night.
Same night, doubleheader.
Sure did.
Yeah. Rough night, good movies. Well, good company for better.
Yeah.
Better company than movies.
So, geez. My goodness. Synopsis. Elvis Presley and a black JFK stay in a nursing home where nothing happens until a wayward Egyptian mummy comes and sucks out the old people's souls through their a-holes. The two decide to fight back. What's an a-hole?
Well, you have your A-hole and your B-hole. And,
A-hole?
Yeah. You have your A-hole and your P-hole.
A-hole and P-hole.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean it's... The mummy wants to...
Yeah.
Out of the...
Yeah. Do the thing and the thing. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't really know what to expect on this one.
Chose it for you.
It's your Bruce Campbell.
I threw this one at you, buddy.
Yep. It was so it's a movie about a guy who claims to be a guy that no one believes he is Elvis. Turns out that he is. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
Still a little sick.
It's the same director as the guy that did Phantasm.
Yeah, Don Cascarelli.
They dyed me this color. Can you think of a better way to hide the truth than that?
So there's a guy in a hospital, and his name's Sebastian Haff, or in a nursing home, and he claims to be Elvis Presley. But so what happened was he was the real Elvis, but he wanted to give the life up, so he switched lives with the best Elvis impersonator, Sebastian Haff. So Sebastian Haff became public Elvis, and Elvis became Sebastian Haff. And now Sebastian Haff is dead. Elvis is still alive, but everyone calls him, so nobody believes it.
Yeah, and they somehow got crossed up with an Egyptian.
Yeah, there was a couple guys driving a touring mummy across the bridge. So I don't remember what happened, but
I mean,
it fell in the water there.
Star-crossed Egyptian mummies.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was the same. I mean, we watched this the same night as Mandy, as we already said, and there's the same bug crossover. Like there was a big bug crossover. They came into the nursing home, and I liked the phrase like "let's get decadent." I thought it was funny, but mostly just me because I hate news and I think journalism is dead. They had the newspaper morgue that they had to go look things up.
Yeah.
And they don't have those anymore. News organizations don't keep morgues for old stories.
Oh.
So they don't have a way to cross-reference their own subjects, which I think
That's
is
fine.
ridiculous.
They don't need to do
Well, your soul-sucking days are over, amigo. That was my favorite line.
There were so many good one-liners, dude.
Your soul-sucking days are over, amigo.
I'll crush you like a cockroach.
Yeah,
That's what the old lady says. Did you think that when the cockroach flew through the air, it looked like one of the balls from Phantasm?
I didn't see a lot of parallels between this and Phantasm, and I wasn't really looking either.
But do you think it looked like a cockroach?
I do now, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Felt my pecker flucker once like a pigeon, having a heart attack, then lay back down, remaining limp. Oh man, it was so dark. Why wouldn't you turn a light on? It was kind of in the dark. Yeah, it was just, I wasn't even me anymore. I was just something made up. Kind of sad.
It was a weird narrative that he would do throughout. Like, he would just kind of chime in every once in a while. So you're kind of reading a journal as you watch him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just different.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Is there really anything other to sex than food, shit, to life than food, shit, and sex?
I mean, mostly just shit.
Out of the a-hole.
With your soul being sucked out of your a-hole.
Boy, I wonder if that would hurt.
I don't even know where to
Ouch,
begin.
my soul.
Yep.
Hit me right in the soul. Oh. Had your best buddy, Reggie Bannister?
Yep. He was an orderly, right?
I'm not sure. I think he was more like the nursing home head or something.
Yeah. I don't know what you'd call him.
Director.
I didn't recognize him right away. You had to point him out.
Yeah, right. You got the vapors again. You were so excited. Your old buddy.
Old buddy, old pal, old chum.
Hmm.
I got his bloodstained tuxedo in my closet.
20 years ago, just 20 years ago, I could have curled my lip and had her eaten out of my asshole.
Sucking the soul.
That's a good. No, I think just
Oh.
pleasure.
Mm.
There have been 2 presidential elections since I had a boner like that. Man, it's got so many good lines.
It's poetry in motion.
Oh, boy. Even a big-ass cockroach like you should know. Nobody fucks with the king.
Except an Egyptian king.
And then when JFK's talking to him about how the soul gets sucked out, he goes, a shit eater?
Yep.
I thought it was funny that JFK, we should probably talk to him. Has Ozzie Davis. I believe that's his name.
That is his name. Yep.
And he's obviously a black man, but he claims to be JFK. They dyed his skin black.
Yeah, the line was, they dyed me this color. Can you think of a better way to hide the truth than that? I think that was funny.
It was funny.
Yeah.
His bedroom was a Oval Office.
Yep.
Let's get decadent.
Let's get decadent. Yeah?
There's that scene with they called him Kemosabe, but like the Lone Ranger guy. And he was firing his cap guns, and he's going, asshole, asshole, asshole. Made me chuckle. Oh, and the slapstick mortuary guys, when they're riding the ambulance, taking the bodies out, and they're just joking around, and then they drop the body that one time from the. That was good. That was really good.
There were some good scenes in this movie.
Mr. Kennedy asked now what you can do for your rest home, but what you can do for your rest home. Okay.
Ready to rate it?
That's it?
I mean, what else you want to talk about?
He ate some pie.
Yeah. I mean, if he hadn't been Elvis, he just would have been a dirty old man.
They killed him. They killed the mummy.
They did. They won at the end.
Yep.
Honka honka burning mummy.
They talked about doing a sequel, but they never did.
Happens a lot. How many? They should have cut down on the amount of Phantasm sequels and made one of these. I got ideas.
4 other ones you haven't seen.
Yeah. Yet.
One of them's good.
Is it the 4th one? Or is it just the 2nd one?
Second.
That's the only one you always like.
The second one's always better.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Sex or the Saw. Sex. Again, good sensual oral.
I'd give this one $1.
Jeez. That bad, huh?
I mean, didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I mean, you got to take into consideration.
You giving it a 30% and you didn't hate it?
You got to take into consideration the dear listeners. Like, I am not in a great frame of mind.
40%.
Like, so, both through watching these films, that night was not good. Just you're catching me at a real down time. So the ratings are going to reflect that. But
it's not fair.
I mean, life's not fair. Clearly.
I guess that's true.
I didn't hate it. I thought it was good.
I thought it was good, and you're giving 40%?
30%. 33%.
Well, you're basically doing $3.99, so that's 4. You said you'd give it $1. That's 25%.
33%.
25.
$2.99.
That's 3. You're right.
Yeah.
As we've discussed, I'm not good at math.
It's
still very low for a movie you liked, Zeke. Bump it up.
$1.25.
Brain is calculating. Did that make it up 50?
No, it's about 40.
175. Bump it up to 175. Do it.
I'll give it.
Bump it 175. Zeke rates at 175.
I'll give it $1.50. I'll give it $1.50. That's 50%.
You say you like this movie. It's under 50%.
I didn't hate it. I just said I didn't hate it.
No, you said you liked it.
Okay. There had some good parts as a film.
You said you liked it.
Didn't love it. $1.50. You got me up. You got it up 50%. You did due diligence.
150 is
Bruce would be proud.
175.
No, 50% is 150.
Wait, what's God. Okay, all right, whatever.
There you go. You're welcome.
Check it out, everyone.
I'm participating.
Look at you.
Yeah.
All right, what was next?
I got dressed for this.
You did. Look at that.
Yeah.
You got your little greaser jeans on.
Yeah.
The cuffs all.
I walk around all day snapping.
Yeah, he's got a cigarette up in his sleeve there. I didn't know you smoked.
Smoking.
I don't know about that.
No, it's true.
You are pretty handsome, though.
Mm-hmm. Silver-tongued devil. Let's do Fright Night next.
Okay.
All right. I'll read the synopsis.
Okay.
1985. A teenager discovers that... In the year of our Lord, 1985. A teenager discovers that the newcomer in his neighborhood is a vampire, so he turns to an actor in a television horror show for help dealing with the undead.
They fucking ripped off Salem's Lot. That's all this is. Trash, garbage, filth.
Isn't Salem's Lot directed by the same guy? No. Tom Holland. That was something. Tom Holland directed this. And the first time I saw that, I was like, isn't that Spider-Man? Different Tom Holland, clearly.
Oh, you mean Tom Holland that's like 18 years old didn't direct a 1985 movie?
Yeah, because he's undead.
Yeah. Huh. It's weird.
Hey, I don't make the rules, man. I just try to follow them.
Boy, wouldn't that be something if they started letting unborn people direct movies?
Yeah. Oof. Well, it couldn't hurt them.
We'll never have a chance.
No, barely have one as it is.
Well, especially if they start.
That's true.
Just start handing them out. A medium. Yeah, I'm talking to the unborn.
You gotta move the camera over this way instead. So Salem's Lot, that's a Carpenter movie, right?
No.
Craven?
I think it might be a Tobe Hooper.
Is it really?
Pretty sure.
I thought
it's based on a Stephen King book.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
I was just kidding. It's not really. I like this movie. It is reminiscent of Salem's Lot, if you ask me.
I think this was a fun movie. I liked both this one and the remake.
Yeah,
this was
not a bad remake for sure.
And the remake doesn't take it verbatim. I just think it was a fun movie, like a good Halloween horror. This one was fun.
So you're saying I did it?
You did it.
Yes.
The television horror show is more of it's like a PBS hosting night.
Yeah, sort of like Masterpiece Theater. Like he's a TV host. He hosts like really like a late night, sort of like a Monster Vision if you're familiar with that. But he's a late night horror host, and he stars in his own like really crappy vampire movies.
So where he climbs out of a coffin and says, "Tonight, we'll be going after vampires."
Why is he climbing out of a coffin if he's killing vampires?
Well, he does it at the end. At the very end, he says, "Right, Charlie?" And he climbs out of a coffin and says, "I'm back."
Did he die? I don't remember that.
No, but on it because he got
on his show.
Back.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, maybe he turned into a vampire.
Peter Vincent.
It's a pretty good name.
Yeah. I don't know. This was fun. I had like the the fun-loving couple and the plucky, annoying friend, and I don't know, like your general like brat pack kind of approach to like the neighbor's a vampire. No, he's not. You're an idiot.
It's kind of like the Burbs too. Huh.
Yeah. It was. I mean, I wouldn't say they reinvented the wheel. Like, it's not amazing, but it's just a fun movie.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. I didn't. Oh, and that was the thing. I was looking for Stan Lee because he's on the IMDb page, and he plays Dracula.
In one of the movies.
No, I think that the last vampire was Dracula, but I don't know because then it laughed and it was Ed Evil. Or Evil Ed, the friend.
Yeah.
So I didn't ever see Stan unless he played a character in one of the shows, but he's just labeled as Dracula.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not Stan Lee, sorry. Christopher Lee.
Oh, I was wondering. It didn't make much sense.
My bad. Christopher Lee was the one labeled as Dracula. Got my wrong Lee.
Dooku?
Yeah.
Saruman? Others?
He's done a few things. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen him in anything else. I probably have, but I can't think about the top of my head.
No, I think that this was fun. I thought that even though the characters, I didn't really like. None of them are really leads in anything else that I've noticed them in, but they're all bit players.
It's Darcy from Married with Children. Plays the girlfriend.
Oh, really? Amanda Beers, Amy Peterson.
Sure, if that's her name.
There's supposed to be some really cool, like the guy that played Charlie, William Ragsdale. He's supposedly to have done a lot of behind the scenes footage while they filmed. Like, He was always running around with the camera, but that's never turned up. Probably because he was shooting vampires and they never show up on footage.
I think he ate it, and we're gonna need a mummy to suck it out.
Probably.
I think it's a pretty good chance.
I think that's very likely. Yeah.
The vampire uses call girls. I thought that was interesting. The next door neighbor.
Yeah, I got that. I thought that I don't know that this film,
written and directed by preborn Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. He's wanted to do a sequel to this for a while, which I thought would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's not just this film, it's films in general. Like, and horror is specific to this problem where they're judged not on the story, they're judged by the amount of blood and boobs that they have. And there was only nudity in one scene in this movie, and it was unnecessary. Like, they probably would have had a PG-13 rating
if they hadn't shown the boobs.
If they hadn't shown the breasts. And it would have been
boobs.
Like, it already got more money than they were expecting to, but it would have brought it to a whole new age bracket availability. Mm-hmm. And then would have made even more money, and there probably would have been a sequel. So I don't understand that dynamic of it, where it was like there wasn't a lot of profanity, not a lot of blood. The practical effects were solid.
I think it was graphic enough. I don't know.
It would have been on that bubble.
Yeah,
I feel like they could have made PG-13.
You could have boobs in PG-13, or you used to be able to, especially in '85.
In '85, you could have, but I think that was probably the line.
It's fun to say that word, boobies.
I'll leave that to you.
I mean, how did it do in the box office? Do you got that in here?
It's in the trivia. I can't remember. The studio was up. This was the third. I think the third movie they were making that year, and the studio had. They just basically ignored. Yeah, so at the time this was being filmed, the studio was sinking all of its efforts into making a hit out of Perfect, which was also 1985, and they gave a high priority to The Slugger's Wife, 1985. Nobody paid any attention to Fright Night, and I've not heard of either of those films before. No. So, just that they prioritized poorly.
They did. They chose the
this
wrong
one
horse.
Benefited from it.
Certainly a cult classic.
Oh, absolutely. Like it didn't spawn a genre, but it certainly fed into a genre that already existed, and I'm surprised I hadn't seen it already, to be honest with you.
Well, I got your back, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
We ready for rating?
No.
Okay, well, hit me.
Golly.
Well,
You're just trying to fly through this, huh? What are we at, huh?
Just get on with it already. 45 minutes.
They said we can go 2 hours.
We have in the past, yes.
Yeah. So we got an hour and 15 minutes.
Just start
left.
milking it.
Well,
Oh, God.
Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
When Charlie was, the neighbor was going to come for him that night to kill him. Or suck his blood or turd him. I don't exactly know, but...
I think he was going to turn him.
I think... I'm not
No, he was going to kill him. He only turned Evil Ed because of spite, I guess. And then he turned the girlfriend because it reminded him of a...
Yeah, right. It was his...
1,000-year-old...
his Nina. Like, that's kind of a Dracula thing.
That's why he can't have nice things.
Yeah, that's why. Anyway, he had some nice things, though. He looked like he was doing pretty well.
He was doing all right.
Yeah. But anyways, Charlie's in his bedroom preparing all the, classic anti-vampire things, and Ed and... What was the name of the girlfriend?
Amy.
Come in, and he's got all these candles lit.
Yeah.
And I do not understand. It made the scene look cool. What the hell was that going to do? I mean, he had the garlic and the steaks and stuff, but then all these candles. I don't.
You wanted to make it look sexy.
I guess so.
I feel like you're trying to rationalize a movie that when I do that, you're like, I'm an idiot for even trying to rationalize it.
I can. You can't.
Okay. All right.
Sensual vamp sex scene with Darcy. Oh, yeah, it was. That was the booby part.
Yeah, So
Twilight, I'm looking at you.
The part of this that I really didn't enjoy, and the reason that I can't stand films like... One of the reasons I can't stand films like Twilight, but this one, I have a hard time when they sexualize high school kids.
Yeah.
And they certainly sexualized Amy.
Yeah. Even if they are, they're obviously
they
of age. But,
yeah, they were older than that in real life, but not in the film. And I just I don't like that.
No, I agree.
Don't care for it.
I don't know if I ever really paid attention to it until you pointed it out. Now I see it all the time, and it happens to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that you got me doing that.
Yeah, appreciate it. One at a time. Turning the tide.
Don't get too high on yourself here, buddy.
I don't know that that's even possible.
For that, you should.
Don't know that I can possibly.
That's a very good thing. Pat yourself on the back.
No.
I don't want to touch you.
I don't want you to either.
Well, maybe I will then.
Reap the whirlwind.
Make it rain. Peter Vincent holds up a cross, scare him away. He says, "You have to have faith for that to work on me." I don't know why. I just like that line.
It's a really good line, and because he laughs at it. Yeah.
You have to have faith for that to work.
And I haven't seen that in a vampire situation since then. But I thought it was a really, really great.
Yeah, that's a Salem's Lot thing too.
Is it really?
Yep.
Okay, so that's
Father Callahan tries it and he can't do it. I don't know if that's. I'm just realizing it now. Oh, right below it, I wrote Salem's Lot, so I guess I did when I watched it. But yeah, there's a scene in Salem's Lot that very similar to that.
So was that with when they did the holy water, and was Peter Vincent lying that he'd had it blessed by a priest, or was it an indication that the priest didn't have faith either?
It was just regular water, wasn't it?
Well, he said it was holy water, and he said, "Did you have it?"
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's like, "Oh, by Father, blah blah blah," down at the.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't know if he actually had it blessed, or if it was an indication that when he drank it, he's like, "Oh, that guy doesn't have faith either."
No, it was just a decoy.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Or something.
Yeah.
That's a funny note. Evil Ed always sounds like he's on the verge of an orgasm. He's like,
yeah. Yeah, I looked him up.
He's kind of annoying.
He was very annoying, and he's made a career out of that one character that he's got.
I can see that.
And I think it probably played better in the 80s than it in the early 90s than it does now. But it's just obnoxious and shows a complete lack of range.
I guess it fit well enough for the movie, but it's pretty annoying.
Well,
Brewster,
it's the character.
You're so cool.
It usually he's the plucky comic relief. Reliable friend, except he wasn't either of those things. Like he wasn't reliable. He wasn't even really a friend, and then he just stays annoying even as a vampire.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah,
gets worse actually.
Yeah,
I was like,
and they spent a lot of time on him laying naked on the floor.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
I'm not sure why they were so stuck on that, but they were.
It's the 80s, man.
Yep.
There's a scene in the vampire's house where they fall off the railing. I wrote down sturdy wood railing. I just think it's funny how easily that broke. It's just like they barely
like
tapped it. And just, I mean, obviously,
on it,
but
yeah.
it was it. This movie had my favorite wolf transformation of Two Boys, One Podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
More than the Werewolf of London.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it better.
Wow. Nice. Okay.
I just thought it was cool.
I thought it was strange that it was both. Like he was both a vampire and a werewolf.
If you get into the lore, like the early lore before you got Hollywoodized, werewolves were familiars for vampires.
Interesting. No one
wolves
touches
were
on that,
anyways,
huh?
and I'm pretty sure werewolves were as well. I mean,
so they could do either or.
Yeah, they were the ones that watched them during the day, and then
and they must have really
become wolves and be their little henchmen.
Really pissed off Van Helsing then.
Yeah,
man, no wonder he's so angry.
Wow. As far as you're a werewolf.
as far as I'm a werewolf. Yeah.
The familiar was full of goo, and I want a familiar full of goo. The werewolf had the manservant fellow that handled the affairs during the day. They killed him, and he was full of goo. I want that. I want a familiar full of goo.
I don't know what he was, but he was just there.
He's a golem.
It's a golem. It's a Limehouse golem.
Yeah, it's golem with slime.
Okay. Nickelodeon.
And sand. Oh yeah, it's sand too. I remember that. He was goo and then he was sand.
Yeah. Well, he got what he had coming to him.
Yeah, he'll be okay.
He'll be fine.
That's something I say a lot. Oh, that's interesting. I said it's really a redemption story of Peter Vincent.
How
I was really feeling great. I was feeling real grand that night.
I mean, I'm surprised you could reach down from your horse to get the pencil to write that note on.
Oh, you're lucky I'm even here, Zeke.
I know. I really am.
Okay, that was all I had.
All right. Ready to rate it?
Yeah, 6 for the saw again. Good oral sex.
Oh, it's over. Okay.
Redemption story.
Peter Vincent. I liked this movie. I did. I don't know that I liked it better than the remake, but
get out of here.
It's just a good. I don't know.
The remake's fine, but this is much better, in my opinion, of course.
I would say it's a solid movie. I would say that this one would have a, I'd say 250.
So far, we were giving it like 70.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
Yeah. I like this one.
Feeling this is going to be a big winner this year.
It's probably top of the line right there.
Probably.
I mean, I don't want to foreshadow.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a chance. Let's do.
Hold on, everybody. There's still 2 more movies.
Yep. Yeah, don't hang up.
What's the time there, Zeke?
I don't want to tell you.
Why?
52. The new 52. Next movie up is Brain Damage.
What do you think about Mars? We talked about Venus. What do you think about Mars?
I don't.
Oh. Never?
No, I mean, I recently shot a documentary where you could see it most of the time. Like every night I stared up at the sky and it was just...
It's always by the moon, isn't it?
Well, the moon had just been full, so it was it was in its waning stages, but Mars wasn't
waxing?
No. It had waxed off.
Fucking moon loves waxing off.
Yeah. But Mars was visible most of the night, every night. Yeah.
What else do you want to talk about?
Brain damage.
You don't want to get off topic at all?
just staring out. And you want to leave a recording and we can go stare out at the stars?
The Spider-Man mask over there. Maybe he directed this next movie. Brain Damage, you said it was called?
Tom Holland. The other Tom Holland. So, one morning, a young man wakes to find that a small, disgusting creature has attached itself to the base of his brainstem. The creature gives him a euphoric state of happiness, but demands human victims in return. This is the 1988 Brain Damage. Directed by directed and written by Frank Henenlotter.
Oh, I know him.
Do you?
No, I don't.
He's made some real bad movies.
What were the other ones?
Frankenhooker.
Oh.
Street Trash.
Oh, shoot. That one really is awful.
He's got a list, and looking at it,
I've seen Street Trash.
it's worse than mine.
So sell yourself short.
I'd sell myself for about anything, I think.
At $1.
Sold.
Neat.
So do you
you
do
free.
your stuff first?
Well, I don't have many notes on this. I just, for me, it's just a really fun movie. I really like the atmosphere, the colors. It's always very blue, a little green. I always mention that about Carpenter stuff too. I just like that atmospheric stuff.
Yeah, I like Carpenter's atmospheric stuff. This reminded me a lot, and it's probably just because of the context of it. But this reminded me a lot of the Mandy type of just chaotic,
Sure,
color. And I never know if they're just doing that to be weird or if they're trying to inflect mood on it. I don't know.
In all seriousness, I think it's just meant to set the atmosphere. I don't think it's supposed to relate to the story necessarily.
Because they had that.
I think you're looking for cues that aren't there.
Well, Jet Li had that whole movie Hero that was based in 4 color schemes to inflect.
Oh,
like each color represented.
Okay, well, so
a
I
mood.
mean, but that's
So I never know
completely
if it's like intended or if I'm just supposed to attribute chaos to it.
I mean, I don't know if it's chaos, but sure, I get a little ladder.
Great.
The latter. That was. So there's like this little ancient slug.
It's like a brain dildo.
Looks more like a slug to me. It doesn't look too much like a dildo. Looks like a lamprey. Sorta. Or like a sandworm.
A little one.
Yeah, a little tiny sandworm. It's probably, 8 inches?
I don't know. I mean, that one woman was sucking on it at one point.
My favorite scene.
Is it really?
Well, I mean, it's fun. It's funny.
Eats the back of her brain out.
We got to get into that.
All right.
That's a good scene.
Well, get there.
Anyways, and he, as Zeke mentioned, he attaches to the back of your spinal cord there on your neck, and he injects this little goop into you, and then you start tripping out. And then he makes you, you're going, Brian, he goes around and he's just like enjoying the trip and everything's all these bright colors. But the thing is, the little slug, he needs human brains. So while Brian's tripping out, then the little slug, he goes around and he eats people's brains. And the first kill in the junkyard, did you notice that he lost his boot?
That's funny.
He did. He lost his boot.
That's funny.
He didn't even fall through a gazebo.
Fell through a gazebo and lost his boot. It was a TB1P throwback to...
what was that called? One shot,
Kill Shot.
Kill Shot.
The Kill Shot with Gordon Levitt. Yeah. Rourke and... Yeah, Gordon Levitt. That's funny.
Yep, lost his boot.
That's perfect.
I hadn't noticed that. I've seen this movie several times, but I never noticed the boot.
I mean, there's kind of a similarity with it turns him into like a werewolf reaction where he has no memory of it at all. It's like a drug-induced kill spree. But he's going through, like, he's basically becoming a heroin addict. Like, you're watching him
addicted to
dissolve.
The goop, so
that's, you're watching him shoot up even when he knows the consequences. And
well, I don't exactly remember how he figures out that it's called Aylmer.
Aylmer.
Yeah. It's been killing while he's been tripping out. How do you remember how he figured that out? Anyways.
Yeah, he found blood in his underwear after that woman was sucking on that thing through his fly.
So he's tripping out. I think it's right after the junkyard, maybe. Doesn't really matter. But
he goes to the club.
Yeah, he goes to the club and he's dancing around, and this girl is really into him, so she takes him out back. She can tell he's tripping, but that's all right with her, and she's going down to give him oral sex, which I mentioned a couple of times. And instead of A wiener. It's Amber. Sucks brains right out of her.
Yep. So this movie starts with this elderly couple bringing a bag of brains back to the apartment to feed him, and he's not there.
He got away.
Because they've been like controlling him because they like his juice.
They lived in the same apartment building as Brian.
Yeah, and then they go to feed him the brains, and he's gone. And they never explain how he got out or.
He just said, "I left him."
Yeah, but then they're tracking Aylmer, and Aylmer's trying to control this new guy.
Yep.
And it ends up being this. It kind of ends the same way that you would imagine a drug deal would go. So.
How's that?
Poorly.
Everyone's happy?
Yeah. No. It ends bad for everybody.
Oh. Glad I don't do drugs.
I don't think that there's not a single character that we're introduced to in the story that it ends well for at the end.
The brother was fine.
Well, only insofar that his brother
kitchen.
is dead and his girlfriend is...
I don't think his brother died.
No?
No.
His head was gone.
Did he lose his head?
It was glowing from the inside after he got struck by
Brian.
lightning.
His brother's fine.
Yeah, his brother's fine only insofar that his brother's dead.
I see. Sorry. Yeah.
And his newly, maybe not a girlfriend, but brother's girlfriend that he was sleeping with. You know,
well, it's Brian's girlfriend that slept with the brother. Anyways.
Yeah. She's gone now too.
She didn't make it.
No one made it.
She wasn't okay.
Except the brother.
A lot too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know. It's a brain eater creature that doesn't die. I guess he could starve that. Like at some point they're trying to do a holdout, like who can last longer. Brian from not having the blue goo.
Once he finds out, that's what I was trying to get into, and I forgot. Yep, Brian is. Once he finds out that the slug's killing people, that he goes to a seedy hotel and he tries to dry out, break the addiction, and he's got the slug in the sink, and slug's just taunting him.
Yeah, and he didn't seem.
It talks, by the way, everyone. It talks.
Yeah, it's like what's the little worm from Sesame Street?
No idea.
It's like that, except on a...
It's a really funny voice. He's like,
horrific.
"Hi, Brian.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go for a walk? Very kind of airy and... ooh la la." And he's singing in the sink there at that time. "Oh, I left him, Brian. We killed her."
Yeah. They killed a lot of people.
It wasn't that high of a body count, was it?
I mean, it's not a John Wick
6.
body count, but it's a handful. Yeah.
Who do you think has a higher body count? John Wick, Dead Alive?
Ooh.
Probably
Well,
John Wick.
I'd say John Wick because there's 3 of those movies right now.
Just one and one.
Well, the body count in John Wick 1 is 72.
There's a lot of people at that party.
Yeah, that's true.
Dead Alive.
Dead Alive. That was a busy lawnmower.
It was a busy
It was
lawnmower.
a busy lawnmower. Oh, yeah.
Damn, I should have watched that. Idiot. It's so stupid.
I'd say it's pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Anyway, like they don't really cover how long he can go without food. They just they buy brains by the bulk, and he eats them every chance he can get. Yeah.
And then you seem to have a pretty good appetite.
Yeah. Well, he kept killing for it. So.
Yeah. Anyways, Brian had a girlfriend, and because he was always tripping out, he just ignored her. So she ends up with the brother, and then at the end, she tries to go after him. But kind of a cool scene in there in the subway. I like that. Maybe he probably didn't, but
I mean, the subway.
They keep going through I don't know. It's not a tunnel down there, but it goes dark light.
Yeah.
When it's light, you can see Aylmer pop out of his mouth real quick, like he's going to eat her.
Yeah, you knew it was coming.
And then it comes. But
it was another thing where it was another strange, unnecessary nudity, I think, from the girlfriend with the brother.
That's fair.
But it didn't.
I think back in the 80s,
I mean, it's fine. I'm not opposed to nudity. I just don't understand.
You like it to have some.
I just don't understand the the frivolous nature of it, where it literally doesn't add anything. And then from the standpoint of like asking the actor to actually do that,
sure. I understand.
That's the part I don't understand. Like, hey, we think you'd be great for this part. By the way, I think you'd be great. I just want to see you naked.
Well, I hope they don't do that. Didn't do that.
I hope not either. But it just seems like a weird.
I mean, I don't know. It was just. I'll agree with you, and it is pointless, but that's just how the 80s were, man.
That's how a lot of films are, though.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I thought it was interesting when the old man who originally had the slug tracks him down and he tells him the history of it. It's like, this slug's been around for centuries and centuries. Like, it was captured by a pirate in 1700s and then transferred to this and that.
And he hunted it down.
Yep, he hunted it down.
And he gave it the name, right? It was like the...
I don't think he gave it the name.
The Royal Aylmer. I don't know.
I think he did. Anyways, it ate his brain.
It was very attached to him.
Ate his wife's brain.
Ate a lot of brains.
Ate that girl's brain. Ate the guy that lost his boots brain.
I mean, it was a zombie hunter.
I don't know about that.
I'm not sure.
They were getting all shriveled up because they were in withdrawals.
They were going through all the withholdings as well. I don't know. It was an interesting film. I didn't know what to expect. I watched it on Tubi for free.
Oh, why didn't you use my Shudder?
I could have. Actually, I should have. I didn't think about it. I actually
told you that's where it was.
So you did tell me that, but I Googled it to see where it was streaming, and it like Tubi was the only one that showed up. So I thought it might have been removed from Shudder, but Shudder never shows up on the available streaming services on Google.
Well, there you go.
So that's my bad.
Disappointed in you.
I mean, you're not the only one.
I was just kidding. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You should be proud of yourself.
You're the only one.
I'm not. Anyways, it ends. Was it the old man that squeezed the slug? So the hammer's on the back of Brian's neck, giving him some juice, and the old man's trying to, right?
Yep.
Tries to pull him off, and he ends up squeezing the hammer, and it pumps in just an overdose of
just
juice.
Empties it into the brain.
Yep. And that kills his hammer.
Yep.
But the hammer kills the old man, doesn't he?
I think the old man gets shot.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking the wife.
The wife, Elmer, eats the brain.
Yeah.
And then Brian makes it back up to the bedroom, and then lightning comes out of his head.
It's like he transcended into a different being or something.
Yeah, he reached.
His skull opens up and just bright light comes out of there.
Yeah. Because the police down below thought it was a gunshot.
Yeah. That was just his head
exploding. It was just a thunderclap of Nirvana coming out of his forehead.
He'll be okay.
I think he's fine.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Brian's still with us today.
Yep.
Aylmer didn't make it.
No,
he got
unfortunately.
squashed.
Okay, squashed like the brain dildo he is.
Really? Dildo. It's not necessary. That doesn't add anything.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Ready to rate it?
I didn't rate this one.
Oh, rate it.
We're going all the way with this one, baby.
Okay.
Missionary.
Accomplished.
I'm writing it down, everyone. Missionary.
I would.
Why do they say that? Missionary. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm not going to go down this path.
Why not?
I'm going to rate it $1.
$1?
Hard $1.
You scumbag.
Yeah, $1.
You didn't like it?
No.
Why?
I wasn't impressed. Like the puppeteer was impressive.
Uh-huh.
I didn't like any of the actors. I didn't like the story. I didn't like the history. I didn't like a lot of it.
What about the sound mix?
I liked it better than I did on Mandy.
You are a hard man to please. It's a fun movie, everyone. Go check it out. It's worth more than 30%.
30. 33%.
Whatever, 33. Sorry.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
All right.
Fun.
I'm glad you liked it. It's your holiday.
Yeah. I watched it. I liked it.
That's all that matters. Now we're in this.
Uh-oh.
Why don't you get started and then I'll try not to interrupt everything.
Give me 1 second to pull up the synopsis.
I've got it if you want to.
There we go. Got it. So this is Suspiria in a previous year 2. I think it's year 2. So this is a remake.
This is a remake. I think the first one was part of your Halloween, or was it? I think it was part of the podcast.
Nope. It was Halloween for sure.
Really?
Yep.
You did that.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay.
Dario Argento movie was the original. It's probably 70. I'll say 70. Anyways, this one's a 2018 movie. A darkness swirls at the center of a world-renowned dance company, one that will engulf the artistic director, an ambitious young dancer, and a grieving psychotherapist. Some will succumb to the nightmare. Others will finally wake up.
Great. I wish I would have woke up.
You had a great time. What do you think of the length of this?
Oh my God. I had to watch this in 3 different sittings.
You didn't have to.
In order to finish it, I did. This was...
What did it clock in at 2 hours and 15 minutes or something?
With credits, it's around 2:40. It's over 2.5.
Every minute was great, too.
Oh my God. So this is an hour longer than the original. And the original is part of a trilogy.
Yeah, I know.
Thank God this is not.
Not yet.
Not yet. So
She hated the first one, by the way. That's why I chose this one.
Yeah.
So I threw him a couple of bones, which he didn't like those bones. So this one I put in purely as spite.
Yeah. Oh, you will pay. This was
we'll see.
So this stars Dakota Johnson,
50 Shades of Grey,
and Tilda Swinton, who plays 3 characters in it. I don't know if you caught them.
She was a psychotherapist, huh?
Yeah.
I knew it was makeup. I didn't know it was her.
Yep, and then she plays the witch as well.
Yeah.
But
okay.
The part of this that I don't understand is Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yep.
Like, she's top billed.
Uh-huh.
She's in this for... I don't even know if she's in it for 2 minutes.
So what?
I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand how you get that cast of people on this movie.
I mean, it's a cult classic, man.
It is not. It is.
Suspiria is, yeah, it is.
It is a mistake.
According to you.
I can't be the only one that feels that way.
You're probably not, but a lot more. I mean, at least plenty of people enough to get a remake.
Dakota Johnson went to ballet school for 2 years for training on this.
Really?
I'm just going to go down the rabbit hole on this.
Getting the vapors.
How the literal fuck? There is so... I think entertainment per capita is the hardest to break into. The success rate is under 1%.
Sure.
To have a career in it.
Yep.
So many people want what you... like to be successful. So many want the attention. So many people want to just create for a living and a livelihood. Mm-hmm. You have all of that, and then you have this film. It gets made 2 times, 2.
Yep.
And it doesn't make any sense. And then again, you end up with an occult orgy to end this movie, and it adds absolutely. Give my regards to the coven.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense. The number 1 review on IMDb right now. What does it say?
1. Boring.
1 out of 10 is the number 1 review. And it's not from me.
Boring. Pretentious. Lack fluidity. Ridiculous.
I feel like that absolutely accommodates a lot of things. I wish I would have written that.
You didn't like this?
Again, with top 3 films related to this that would be recommended. More titles like this. Read the top 3.
What do you got? Original Suspiria. I can't. What does that say?
Hereditary and Midsommar. All of them. It's just. Oh, it ends with. Let's see what happens. We'll go down this story. Okay.
You did foreshadow.
We got someone who came over for this. Turns out she's a witch. Wonder what happens. Oh, it's a naked a cult at the end with 30 naked people dancing around drenched in blood. Should have seen that coming. That's great storytelling.
It's pretty cool though. I mean, just the way that I'm not saying like the nickness, but just like the forms they were making, like they were like the synchronization.
I mean, they were all dancers. It looked great. It did. It was great choreography. Did not add anything. Like you could have easily removed an hour from this movie, and I would not have liked it any more or less.
I can't think of 1 minute.
Not one single minute. Not even one of the 2 minutes that Chloe's in.
No,
could have come out and
wait. That's not so unprecedented. I mean, Kate Blanchett is in the Hot Fuzz.
Oh yeah, but
I mean, you don't even see it's her because she's wearing a biohazard suit.
I actually like that. Do you know why she's in it?
Because the studio told them they had to have her in it, so they put her in that to spite the studio.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that, actually.
But
it's great.
Regardless.
But they didn't market her as a lead in it.
Because she isn't.
Absolutely. They marketed her as a lead for this film.
Oh, they did market her as a lead.
She's top billed.
I mean, there wasn't much advertising for this movie.
I mean, it was
an
Amazon
what I saw
original.
did not have her in
it. She's in the trailer.
Okay.
But it was an Amazon movie. I don't understand why they made it. Like, I don't feel like...
Because it's a cult classic, man.
First of all, I think I have a problem with there being a trilogy. I don't think that the first film had any... There shouldn't have been...
trilogy.
Yeah. The story of 2B, 1P is following the story arcs of loose trilogies.
I love a good loose trilogy.
Oh, my God. But again, not let
My
alone
favorite kind of
two
trilogy is a
follow-ups.
loose one. I've always said that.
Not just that there was a follow-up trilogy. Like 2 and 3 shouldn't have been made, in my opinion. But then there was a remake.
But like I said, they're more standalone films than they are.
This movie's bad. It's bad news.
Disagree.
The whole thing ends up being for nothing as well, because it turns out where she's like the Queen Mother coming back to like sort shit out, and it was unnecessary. Like the whole thing could have been taken care of with a phone call. I put this akin to if they would have made a sequel to Sisters, because isn't Sisters part of another loose trilogy?
I don't recall that.
I don't remember for sure, but I remember hating that movie, and I'd put this right next to it.
Oh, okay.
Because isn't that
one of the worst movies we watched?
Sisters?
Yeah.
I mean, we've drudged.
Yeah.
We have scratched the bottom.
It was a bad one, but
it puts the
pretty good
lotion in the basket. Yeah. It was. I wanted to like it more than I did. Wasn't it Lois Lane that was in that?
Yeah. Margot.
Yeah. Margot. Yep. Again, a very strange thing. It was a Brian De Palma film. He gave it to the two actresses at a Christmas party, which is, again, a very strange thing to do. Like, oh, by the way, you're naked in this, but I think you're going to be perfect.
I don't remember nudity, but there probably was.
There was. It was also unnecessary.
You just have a mental list of all the unnecessary nudity movies.
Well, it doesn't add to the story.
I understand. You've said that several times, Zeke.
I can't say it enough, evidently.
It's going to become ad nauseum soon. It's not quite there.
We're going to change the title of this podcast.
Get nauseate.
Ad nauseum. Yeah. Bring the rain.
I watched everything in the dark. Why do I do that? Zeke, do you know why? Oh, it takes place in Germany. It looked like Germany. I noticed that. You ever been to Germany?
I have not been to Germany. Okay. You've been a few times.
Yeah. I podcasted on a train once.
Yep. Wasn't that the
fog?
That was the fog. That's right. Because we're still trying to figure out
story.
Time for one last story before the witching hour. Wasn't it was it Bangers and no
Bangers Mash?
No. What's the hamburger and?
Can I get a Coke and a gut buster?
A gut buster, which there's still no definition of.
I think I had thought I knew what it was.
Well, they said it was a hamburger online, which doesn't make sense because he wanted it after dinner. Oh, okay. Maybe that's
a Coke and a milkshake.
Yeah, that's right. Which doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, I don't know. It's good.
That's true.
You drink the Coke with the hamburger, and then you got your what do you call that thing? Dessert
or dinner.
A lot of nipples.
Yeah,
There's a lot of nipples.
a lot. Yeah,
I guess my big takeaway are witches are bitches.
I think that they established that. Yeah.
I thought it was kind of neat when they were doing when they were killing their whatever. So I think they were trying to. What were they doing to these girls? They were trying to make them into the next.
So Tilda Swinton as herself is this diva, like a true ballerina diva, who had done this impossible. Like her opus was this specific dance, and the diva of that dance had just been. I guess the coven had removed her, and they when Dakota comes in and does the dance like that, she cripples this other girl through her emotions.
Yeah, like she's like doing like really intense like moving her hand, like her arms and her hands. People can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing the dance.
Yeah,
what she was doing.
Similar contorting to like The Exorcist down the stairs.
Yeah, there you go.
Except it was part of a ballet.
When Dakota does it, then it makes the other girl do it, but she's getting killed.
Yeah,
and she pees her pants.
And then they use these dock worker hooks.
Oh, to drag her away.
Drag her away.
Fish hook.
But it's not a fish hook. It's what you would like. It's what they use to move hay bales and stuff, like a big hook that you get a grip with it and pull it away. Or like I guess they would use it on a boat to like get in to pull the big fish on board.
Yeah,
so it would be like.
So you're saying it's a fish hook?
Oh, it's a fish hook. All right, we'll do that.
He does not look.
I just don't have the fight left in me. I don't understand so much of the context of this. Like, I don't understand why it was worth telling as a story.
What exactly were they trying to do with these girls? Like, they keep selecting a specific girl and they're grooming them to something. I don't know.
So the coven or the ballet? What are you asking about?
Well, the coven is the ballet.
Yeah, so it's the Marcos Ballet School.
Yeah.
But the diva, I guess, was supposed to be some sort of sacrifice that would enable.
Oh, so they needed the right girl.
They needed the right girl so that the old witch would get her life back.
That's kind of cool effect. I like that.
And it turns out that the witch that they've been worshiping this whole time was the one that they were going to try to kill.
No, well, they didn't know that.
They didn't know that, but
it turns out Dakota was the real Marcos.
Or, I don't think they were worshiping Marcos. Marcos was just the school, but they did chant the name. I don't.
No, Marcos was the old blob witch.
Oh, okay.
But she wasn't the real Marcos. Dakota was.
Yeah, because they're like so each. I didn't look up the trilogy on how this works, but she is like there's some name that she is, and they asked which mother she was, and it was Mother something.
Superior.
Yeah, Mother Superior.
What were they? It's the name. That's the trilogy.
It is the trilogy. It's just not worth it. Like none of this should have happened. I don't understand, like how something like this rises through the clutter to be made.
I think it's
more than one time.
I mean, of course, I enjoyed it. I would say, humoring you. I don't know if it's humoring, but anyways, it's pretty beautifully shot. It's well made, just like the original.
I mean, the cinematography's great. Yeah. The gaffing is solid. Like they brought in good actors.
Great.
They brought in good actors who could actually accommodate the role. And there was a throwback to the first one, the woman that came out of that cabin. She was the first. She starred in the first movie, like the original one.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
Was she the same?
She was Dakota's character.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Luca. No, that's not right.
Luca Brasi.
I don't know her. I'm not seeing her name. I can't find the mother. Helena Marcos is the entire coven. So
Okay. 2 hours,
Susie is
2.5
revealed.
hours of
Susie's
bliss.
revealed at the end of the film to have been Mother Suspirium for years.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps since her birth. It's quite possible that Mother Suspirium possessed Susie at birth and has inhabited her body for her entire life. So
It's possible.
yeah, they don't even. There's not a lot of rules for this.
I'm so pleased that you hated it so much.
I just can't.
Yes.
The infamous maggot scene from the first one
Mm-hmm.
was not shot in this one, but it was referred to briefly in Susie's dreams, where the worms start to fall out of her face. I don't know if you caught that or not, as a reference to the original.
I didn't.
Oh, I mean, I could keep yelling about it, but everybody knows where I stand. So
The whole psycho. I will say the whole psychotherapist thing. I guess that's what you could cut. None of that really needed to be in there.
feel like. Did you watch all the way through the credits to the end? Like, there's an Easter egg in it.
There's an Easter egg?
Yeah.
What happened?
Nothing. Nothing happens. It's just
Just the rooms.
her again.
What's she doing?
Thankfully, it wasn't back in the blood orgy. It's just exhausting.
He's spent.
Yeah, I just don't have it in me.
Maybe I take it back. You really look like you've been. He's just exhausted.
I don't have it. Yeah, I guess I'll let you rate it first.
Suspiria 2018 6. Where did I rate it? Make out on the first date. My lowest rated.
I would give this movie 15 cents.
15 cents. It's pretty low.
It's around 5%.
I don't know in other movies. What the hell movie was that?
I think the lowest rating I've...
Charade. It was Breakfast at Tiffany's. You rated it. You didn't like the movie, but you rated it as you liked it because it had a great performance by Hepe.
Hepe? Yeah, well, she
And
did.
this one, well shot, well acted.
Yeah.
Good sound mix.
Yeah. Had a lot of great production qualities, but the story was 2.5 hours and a remake. I'm not saying I'm not.
I'm saying I am too.
I can't understand how this is the film that gets made.
Well, as vehemently as you hate the original and this, which one did you hate more?
This one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They are cult classics, particularly, Suspiria, the original, is a cult classic, excuse me. Dario Argento, you'd really hate the rest of his work because it's all pretty similar to that.
But he's Italian. Like, it was an Italian film, right?
Yes.
I can't say you shouldn't have made it. It was the first one. He made the first one. Good for him. I don't think that it deemed a trilogy, but I don't know how it performed domestically.
All pretty much standalone movies.
But I can say, like, the sequel did not need to be made. It added literally nothing. The remake didn't need to be made. It added literally nothing. And it came in like a whisper.
You think remakes are supposed to add something?
If you can't make it better, what's the point?
Very rarely does a remake make it better.
And again, I would say, well, if you can't make it better, why make the remake?
All right, okay. But anyways, I'm just trying to explain to you, Dario Argento is, people love his films,
sure,
even if you hate him. Particularly that movie. It's probably, to my knowledge, it's his.
I think it's his most famous one.
Yeah. So I don't think it's too surprising that it got remade.
That's fair. But I don't need to like it.
I'm not saying you do. Stuck it to him good,
15
folks.
Cents.
I'd given Zeke two lists, a revenge list, and then what I thought would be a good list.
This one was on
except
both
for
of
the
them.
yeah. This is on both. You weren't escaping this one.
No. But you know what's coming.
Blart.
I mean, I got some wood to chop on my Christmas movie list, but I can say I think you'll fare better than I did.
I think you're just in a bad. You're a grump.
I am a grump.
Brain Damage was fun, even if it wasn't that great of a movie. You can enjoy it. You didn't have to sit there and hate it.
There were some fun parts. I didn't set out to hate it. I just didn't like it.
The other movies, Fright Night, you like Bubba Ho-Tep.
I didn't hate Bubba Ho-Tep. It was fun watching it with you.
Mandy's just fine too, you know. It's not bad. I mean, it's entertaining enough.
Which one?
Mandy.
I mean, it was entertaining enough. But even you've seen it 3 times and you didn't like it. A couple of them.
Yeah. Agreed.
So I didn't love it. I don't.
I just think you're
I feel like the
rating
cults
lower than these are. That's all.
The cults are the cults on horror films. I'm over it. And so now, even if the movie itself, it's not at fault for the whole thing. It's carrying a lot of baggage with it. So, the horror cult.
Scour the depths for next year.
I'm
Cult.
not a big
Here's
fan.
the cult.
I mean, that's basically every horror film that comes out now. Oh, it's a cult. Act 3. Oh, didn't see that shit coming. Naked occult. Cool.
They like getting naked, huh?
All of them.
I guess. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So, anyways, this year for our Spooktacular, late Spooktacular, it's my fault, but blame Zeke. We had Blob Witches, Ocarina of Time Cenobites, the best wolf transition in 2 Boy 1 podcast history,
According to you.
Blowjob Slugs, and Asshole Mummies. I think it was a good holiday special.
I mean, it's
we had 4 oral sexes and a makeout.
par for the course.
And then Zeke.
And then me. I don't think that all of them. Well, I guess be pretty close. I think I get to like 350.
I'd like to talk to another horror buff just to see what he would have just like his thought on these movies, or her thought on the selection this year.
Yeah, well, bring it back to the table.
There's no table here.
You have a few people that you can talk to about that. I'm sure that they've all seen it.
Maybe Zeke.
Maybe.
Well,
just time for one more story before the witching hour.
pretend it's Halloween, everyone.
We're not late for last year. We're early for next year.
Okay.
Did you carve a pumpkin?
No. Did you? Yeah, you did. They're out on the deck shrivelly.
Yeah, they're covered in snow.
It snowed and you're grumpy about that too.
I'm just grumpy about everything right now. It's not your fault.
Do you need a hug?
No touching. Yeah.
I'll pet you on the back.
No touching.
Well, everyone, thank you for listening. Sorry it's late, and it really is my fault. Blame me. I don't imagine anyone really cares, but appreciate it. Hope you had a good Halloween. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving. Stay calm. Everything's going to be fine. I know shit in the U.S. is a little wild at the moment, but it's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, no. Happy Spooktacular.
So, everybody, let's see if I can remember. Remember, don't be a sucker. Spin a slice. Do you remember?
If you need anything, just whistle.
No, there's one other. Isn't there another one? It's 4, isn't it?
Okay, love you. Bye.